Welcome to Rod Building Basics. In this series, I'm going to teach you how to build a custom fishing rod in short, step-by-step videos that you can watch and rewatch until you get the process down for yourself. Today, we're going to be talking about gluing up cork handles. Just stick around. Let's get this handle glued up. I got my paper plate. I've got 2 popsicle sticks. I got my Quick Bond UB40 10-minute epoxy paste. I know in the supplies video there was the little tube that comes in the basic kit. I build so many rods I buy them in bulk, but this is a paste. I like a paste better for a handle, but this is also a 10-minute paste, so it sets up quick and I can move on to the next step. So we got paste, we've got paper towels, and we've got some alcohol for cleanup. I also ahead of time, typically, I will cut a bunch of paper towel squares just to make it easier to clean up, you know, the final cleanup around the grips. Okay, let's get started. We're gonna take, we don't need a lot of paste, so we're gonna take what would be, I guess, about a tablespoon of the white. Take the same amount. This is a 1-to-1 epoxy ratio. Same amount. Of the pink. And we're going to mix them together for a few minutes here until it looks like bubble gum or cotton candy. Alright, so I mixed up way too much for what we're doing here, because I'm not going to do the real seat yet. I am going to do an epoxy coat over these cork grips to protect them from the Florida sun. I'll start with my rear grip. First thing we need to do is, I lost my pencil line here. While this epoxy's starting to cure off a little bit, we're going to build a couple arbors just in the back here to tighten that up. And we just need one. That's pretty good right there. There's my pencil mark. Okay, now we're going to coat this blank. We're not going to need a lot of epoxy, but I want it completely saturated. I want the blank completely wet with epoxy, and we'll push the excess off. All right, let's push this down here. And we're going to spin it as we go, making sure we're distributing that epoxy in any gaps that are inside the cork grip from when we reamed it. That tape arbor, even though it's very thin, is going to hold some of this epoxy and push it back up inside the rear grip. Make sure you get a really tight contact with the blank. I'm going to peel some of this extra epoxy off with my little paper towel. I'm going to push it up the rest of the way. That's where it needs to be. I'm going to put a tape mark here just for temporary. I'm going to take my little square, put a little bit of alcohol. That's just regular isopropyl rubbing alcohol. I'm going to pull this tape off and any glue that pushed up on it. You can see that blank is pretty clean as it is. But what I will do is I will start, and I'm going to turn the blank and pull a clean piece of paper towel so I don't ever smear any epoxy. And I'll fold it, do it again. So I'm start up close, pulling and turning. Oh, all right, that one's glued up. Let's get busy on the rear here. This one is pretty tight. Not really going to need an arbor. But we're going to do the same thing. We're going to wet the blank completely. We're going to push the grip and turn at the same time. Almost to the final position. Take a dry towel and pull and turn and get most of that excess epoxy off without smearing it. And push it to its final position, which is there. I'm going to wipe the epoxy off of here and put a little tape on it to hold its position. I'm going to pull this tag end up, my little flag off, pulling the excess epoxy off with it. One more square, a little bit of alcohol, and there it is. Your cork grip's glued up. Let that set for about 30 minutes, and you could go to the next step, which will be putting the real seat on normally. But I'm going to coat these cork grips with a clear coat of epoxy and maybe some trick stuff. I'm not sure yet. This is my daughter's rod. I'm going to protect this and probably trick it out a little bit. She is a redneck girl. She can outfish about any boy, throw a bait caster since she was 10. Drives a truck and can drive a stick, but she's still a girly girl and likes pink, so we may trick this out in another video. But this is it for gluing up grips. Next video we're going to put the handle on and you'll see what I've done with these grips. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you.